18, back at it again. Welcome to episode 113. Thank you to those watching me for the first time. Hope you like the video. Go back and watch my other ones. Maybe you find something you like. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Truly appreciate it. Thank you to those who've been with me since the beginning. Appreciate you guys sticking around, watching my videos and all that good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it, really. Remember to like, comment, and all that good stuff. Like I said, this is episode 113. Today's topic is going to be movie related. So I go to a lot of movies, and I rarely walk out on movies, but this is a list of the movies that I've actually walked out on. I don't like wasting money, and I love to go to the movies for the entertainment and to waste time or whatever. But I have been to some movies that I just couldn't stay in there and waste another hour of my time or whatever. These are those movies. I know some of you are not going to agree with this list, but those movies are just too bad or too boring or too slow for me to just stick around and try to get through them. I've been in a lot of bad movies too. I've stayed for long, boring movies, but these movies are just too bad. I couldn't handle it. The first movie that is on my list is going to be Funny People. Funny People came out in 2009. It's a comedy drama starring Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen, Leslie Mann, Eric Bana, Jonah Hill, Norm Macdonald is in it, R.I.P., and Sarah Silverman, and a bunch of other comics are in there for cameos or whatever. I went into this movie, thought it was going to be hilarious because I used to like Adam Sandler a lot back in the day. I was bored out of my mind, and the cast is amazing. The cast is great, but I was bored out of my mind. The movie was not funny. Like, how do you name a movie Funny People and the movie not be funny? I think the funniest part on the movie was Eric Bana, and he's not even a comedian. But the movie was not good at all. I sat there for the first hour like, when is this movie going to end? I was like itching to get out of the movie theater. And I ended up walking out. I don't even know what happens at the end of the movie. So I got up and left. That was one of the first movies that I ever walked out of. And I don't like paying for something and not finishing it. I've sat through a lot of bad movies, but I couldn't do this movie anymore. It was that bad. The story was like plotting. It was just not a good movie. And I love Seth Rogen. I think he's so funny. Jonah Hill is funny, but the movie was just so bad. If you haven't watched it, Adam Sandler's a star. He gets a disease and becomes Seth Rogen's mentor. And the movie is just about him teaching him how to be a stand-up and all this other stuff throughout the movie. It wasn't good. I don't know how it ended because, like I said, I walked out. But I definitely wouldn't recommend it. It's not funny. It's not a funny people. The movie should have been called Unfunny People. But that's the first movie. The next movie that I'm going to be talking about is Downsizing. (2017) sci-fi comedy starring Matt Damon, Christopher Waltz, Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, Laura Dern, Neil Patrick Harris. That cast is amazing. I went to this movie because everybody who knows me knows I love Matt Damon. He's probably my top 5 actors of all time. So I went into it expecting a great movie, and I was super disappointed. Like I saw what they were going for. They just didn't hit any marks in the movie. The movie is about this guy who undergoes this experiment to miniaturize himself. They live in small communities. The process is irreversible. He gets the procedure done at the beginning of the movie, and his wife is supposed to do it, and she backs out after he does it, which is real fucked up. That was pretty funny. But the overall movie sucked. The first 20 minutes was good, getting up to the point where he got into the little city or whatever. But after he gets into the little city, the whole movie falls apart. And how can a movie with Christopher Waltz, Kristen Wiig, and Jason Sudeikis and Matt Damon just fall apart? I don't know. It's not good at all. The whole movie is not good. There's very few funny parts. Matt Damon's not even good in this movie, and I love Matt Damon, which sucks. I definitely wouldn't recommend it. It's not even that funny. I've never even went back to finish the movie. I don't know what happens at the end, but I know the process is irreversible. So I know he stays a little person forever. But yeah, the movie is not good. And I definitely walked out on it about 45 minutes into it. And I think it was like a 2.5 hour movie too. So it was a long movie and it was boring. So Downsizing, definitely not one of my favorite Matt Damon movies, and I'll probably never finish it. The next movie I'm gonna get a lot of shit for, Oppenheimer. 2023 thriller historical drama. It won a bunch of Oscars. Cillian Murphy, of course, won an Oscar. Robert Downey Jr. won an Oscar. Emily Blunt is in it, one of my favorite actors. Matt Damon is in it, one of my favorite actors. But the movie was boring. Me and my girl went to that movie, and I was falling asleep watching it. It was too much composition, too much talking, not enough action. I knew the story. I love like historical movies and stuff like that. I watch a lot of historical movies, but I couldn't get through the movie. I really just couldn't get through the movie. I heard it was good. I heard the ending was fantastic. I heard when they dropped the bomb when they figured out how to work the bomb, it was good. I couldn't get through it. And the cast is amazing. Not mentioning the 4 people I mentioned, but the rest of the cast is amazing. Even Casey Affleck is in this movie too. But I couldn't get through the movie. It was just too boring. I looked over at my girl. We were about an hour in. I was like, we got like 2 hours left. And I was like, I can't do it. And she was like, yeah, I was about to tell you about 20 minutes ago I was ready to go. And we walked out of the movie about an hour in. We just couldn't get through it. It was that boring. I just didn't like the movie. I didn't think it was good. Maybe I'll finish it one day. I don't know. But what I saw, I was bored out of my mind, and I could not sit down through the rest of that movie and watch it. I just went home and we watched the movie on Netflix or something that night. The next movie, this was my girlfriend's idea to go see this movie. Poor Thing. 2023 comedy fantasy starring Emma Stone, who won an Oscar for this role, Mark Ruffalo, William Dafoe. I did not enjoy this movie from the beginning to the end. When I walked out of this movie, I was super upset. My girl was really into it, but I was like, I can't do this anymore. Emma Stone was brought back to life. She was killed and brought back to life. It was like a Dr. Frankenstein type of thing. She was given him the brain of a little kid. She was pretty much retarded the whole fucking movie until, from what I saw, I did not enjoy this movie at all. I was bored. And when she won an Oscar for it, I was like, what? Did she win an Oscar for showing her tits? Because this movie was not good. She did get naked a bunch of times from what I saw. I think the best thing about this movie was Mark Ruffalo, and he's annoying sometimes. So I was extremely bored watching this movie. I didn't get the fascination with this movie besides Emma Stone getting naked. I walked out. I didn't like it at all. Like, it was not a good movie. And this movie just came out last year. And it won an Oscar. It makes no sense. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't for me, but I definitely didn't like this movie. I'll definitely not go finish it. I love Emma Stone and I love William Dafoe, but this movie was not good. It wasn't good in my opinion. It was terrible and it was boring and I did not enjoy it. So one of the other few movies that I did walk out of and I didn't like it. Next movie, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. 2002 family sci-fi. Everybody knows this movie. Starring Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Samuel Jackson's in it. All-star cast. This movie was boring as shit when it came out. I loved episode 1. I'm not going to say I loved episode 1. I liked episode 1. I went to the theaters to see this movie the first day it came out. I was ready to go about 45 minutes into this movie. It was so boring. I don't even remember if I ever finished. I remember I bought the box set, the Star Wars box set, and I don't remember ever finishing Attack of the Clones. I was bored. It wasn't good. The acting wasn't real good either. I walked out of the movie theater, and I went to the first showing too. That was when the first showing was at 12 o'clock or some shit out here or whatever. And I was like, I got to work in the morning. I'm leaving. It wasn't good. So Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones was not a good movie in me. Probably one of the worst of the newer Star Wars in my opinion. And I definitely walked out and I was not Nothing was wrong with it. No, I was not. I was happy about walking out of the movie. And the last movie that I walked out on, this is the last movie well, one of the first movies that came, it's Do Where's My Car? It came out in 2000, starring Sean William Scott when he was hot, like hot doing movies or whatever. Ashton Kutcher, Jennifer Garner's in this movie. This movie was terrible. I think I went with one of my friends when I was in the Air Force, and the movie theater was pretty much empty. This movie was not good at all. It wasn't funny either. It's about two stoners who wake up one morning and they, from partying, can't remember where they parked the car. I don't know how it ends. I don't know if they ever get their car back. I remember Jennifer Garner was real pretty in this movie. But the movie was so bad. Like, I can't believe I was like, I didn't even have a car at the time. I left the movie and my friend was there watching the movie by herself. I just went to the casino because it was in the casino where we went to the movie theater. I just went to the casino and went to the sports book and started watching whatever was on the TV that day. I mean, whatever was on in the sports book. I think baseball was on or something like that. But that movie was so bad. This is probably one of the first movies that I ever walked out on. And at the time, I was 20 years old, so I didn't have a lot of money. And that money I spent on the movie, I could have used on like food or some shit. So, like I said, I don't like walking out on movies, but this movie was so bad I couldn't sit through it, and it wasn't funny. And it was supposed to be a comedy, and it had Sean William Scott who was fresh off of the American Pie, Ashton Kutcher who was funny, and Jennifer Garner who was hot. And I don't understand why this movie was that bad, but I walked out on it, didn't enjoy it. That's my list. Let me know what movies you ever walked out on, if you've ever walked out on a movie. What do you think of my list? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate you guys for giving me some time in your day, 10 minutes or whatever. Hope you enjoyed the video. Come back, see the next one. Have a good one, and I'll get at y'all on the next one later.